Do you know what's more frustrating than a kid having a tantrum? A parent having an even bigger one. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm here to share with you some of my personal experience that might actually help you. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear some really easy tips and tricks on how to tame those tantrums. Well, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that a few years ago, my family went through some major changes. Basically, we moved from Romania to Italy. My son was about 3 at that time, and without even being asked, everything that he knew and loved was taken away from him. That had a very bad impact on his behavior. He went from a very happy kid to a very angry one. And as I was going through the same changes, I felt overwhelmed, and I basically didn't recognize my own kid. I didn't know how to handle him or to help him get out of his anger. Our communication was done only at a very high level voice. It was all about screaming, yelling, answering back, and I felt defeated. This is not how I wanted to be as a mother. I started my journey as a mother with gentle parenting, so I couldn't recognize myself. One day, after the first year here in Italy, my son came from school with this. I asked him, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, we had a project. My teacher asked me to describe how I see my family. And I did this. A lighthouse? Yes, because you and Dad, you are the lighthouse in my life." Guys, you have no idea how bad I felt in that moment. I felt that I've let him down, because instead of guiding him, I was doing exactly the opposite. Yes, he continued to see us as lighthouse because he continued to seek for help whenever he had those tantrums. He continued to seek for safety. He continued to rely on us. And I felt like I've let him down. Yes, it took me about a few months, up to almost a year, to start, regaining my strength to control the situation. I had to learn together with him how to breathe in order to relax. If you go and check my other videos, this is the main thing I consider that needs to be done whenever the kids are having a tantrum. They need to be reminded how to breathe. It might sound really simple, but it's more than that. Because whenever they have these tantrums and they start crying and shouting, they are basically hyperventilating. And sometimes, if it's not stopped at the right moment, it can lead to the feeling of asphyxiation, suffocating. And I realized that whenever I'm angry, I tend to feel the same thing, like I cannot breathe. That's why I started together with him. Whenever I'm reminding him how to breathe, I remind myself how to do it. This is the first step into controlling your emotions, calming down, and being able to communicate on other levels without screaming, raising voice. Because let's face it, remember, we are their lighthouse. We are there to guide them, to make them feel safe. We are their comfort zone. Sometimes our kids will have the tantrums only around us. If you will notice, whenever they are with the grandparents, their nannies, or other people, no matter how much they know them and how comfortable they feel with these persons, they will not throw tantrums. to me, everybody was coming and was saying, you know, your kid is totally different when he's not around you. Well, yeah, I know. I'm his comfort zone, all right? He feels safe to throw out all those emotions, anger, frustration, whatever. Kids feel a lot of things. They're basically going through all feelings, maybe in one single day, as they are learning how to go through them. But they cannot do it without us, can they? So if you start to think about it, we are setting the example. All right, whatever the kid sees in us, he will try to replicate, because we are the role model, believe it or not. If we curse in the house, the kids will curse. If we talk loud, they will talk loud to cover our voice and to make themselves heard, or just to imitate our behavior. But whatever we do, they will try to imitate. So how can we ask them not to raise the voice at us if we are shouting at them? It's ironic, isn't it? But we need to remind ourselves how to function as a lighthouse. So you do, as a parent, whatever it takes for you to calm down before you address a kid during a tantrum. If you need to step out of the room for a few minutes, if you need to pour yourself a glass of wine, a coffee, tea, smoke a cigarette, whatever helps you to relax, do it. Then help your kid. Now because we are talking about lighthouse and all the water, the ocean, the sea, it's like when somebody's drowning, think about it. How can you help them? First, if somebody's drowning, you can't just jump in the water with them if you don't know how to swim, or if you don't have your life coat with you. So now, because we were talking about water, yeah, seas, oceans, whatever, our kids are drowning basically whenever they're having these tantrums. So if you don't learn how to swim, or if you don't wear your life jacket, you're not going to be able to help them. You cannot just throw yourself in the water and resolve the problem. No, you need, first of all, to put yourself in a place where you are safe. Then you can bring your kid in that place as well. But if you are having a tantrum, if you are overwhelmed and you're having a meltdown, you cannot help your kid. Don't even try to help him. Just by raising their voice, it's not necessarily a help, because if they stop, it's fear that makes them stop. Yes, they fear your voice, and somehow they fear your actions. Even if you are not hitting them, they cannot know that, because they don't know yet how far can they go by pushing our buttons. Yes, kids push buttons even during tantrums, and they know it. They know it. So you cannot help them as long as you are in the same tantrum. If you want to get him out of the waters, out of the tantrums, you need to step out of the tantrum as well, right? Don't approach a kid when you're angry. And if you do it, don't expect him to come down before you do. You're the adult one. You're the responsible. So I know it's frustrating, it's difficult. I still have moments when I feel like I'm losing it. But then I go into a different room, yell in my pillow, or splash some water on my face, do whatever it takes to come down before I even talk to him. I cannot expect a kid to have more power to control the situation than I do. I'm the lighthouse, not him. All right, so I hope that you will find the strength to stay away from the tantrums and become the lighthouse in your kid's life. Simple as that. See you next time!